So while I was gone, CNN did a Donald Trump town hall, and shout out to Mac, aka Good Politic Guy, for covering that on my channel. By the way, everybody go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He just got over 20,000 subs. Let's get him to 100K, man. Good Politic Guy on YouTube. So, and on Twitter too, by the way. Follow him there as well. So he talked about it on my channel. You had Caitlin Collins, who used to be, I think she was with the Daily Caller. She was right-leaning. Now she's just like bland milquetoast nothingness. She interviewed Trump. And there's a reason why Trump agreed with her to do the interview, because she has the personality of a dirty diaper. She's about as charismatic as watching paint dry. And Trump probably knew, look, I could railroad her, right? Even if she tries to put up a fight, it ain't gonna land. And that's effectively what happened, right? Is she did, like, even if she made a good point, it was delivered with such a that it just doesn't work, right? So there's been a million reactions to this. There's been a million reactions to it. One of them is many liberals and some leftists who are saying, including AOC, almost like, how dare CNN do this? How dare they do it? You shouldn't be platforming Donald Trump. That's one of the arguments. Now, on that point, I don't agree. He was the former president. He is the frontrunner on the Republican side by a mile and a half. There is no such thing as, quote unquote, platforming him being an issue, because he doesn't need your coverage, right? He's already a big enough name. He generates enough noise and interest regardless of what you do if you're like low-rated CNN, right? So I find that criticism sort of dumb. This isn't some like neo-Nazi YouTuber with 3,000 subscribers. We're talking about the former president who is the current frontrunner and running a presidential campaign right now. So I don't agree with that. And it's very like AOC and people who agree with her on this, they love to become the embodiment of the caricature that the right makes of the left, right? Like the argument from the right is, you know, all these lefties, they're super oversensitive, they're censorious, they love deplatforming, they never want to hear from anybody who they have a disagreement with, they just want to shut down debate and discussion, they want to be authoritarian and control the rules of the game. And AOC basically chimes in and says, yes, that is exactly what I'd like to do. Oh, God, it's just so stupid, right? So the issue is not that CNN did the town hall. The issue is that they didn't do a good job in the town hall. The issue is they didn't have somebody who can handle Donald Trump effectively and efficiently and accurately. So, for example, if MSNBC did a Trump town hall and they had Mehdi Hasan grill him, yummy in my tummy, I'm all for it. That's awesome. Because he'll do a decent job holding his own, pushing back against Trump BS, not letting him off the hook, pressuring him when he should be pressured. And that's positive. Whereas, you know, with Caitlin Collins, Mr. President, I'd like my stapler back, please. And when you said January 6th was good, do you mean that it was good? Because I don't think it was good, sir. It's like, the problem is she hosted it and she did a terrible job. That's the problem. And also, look, keep it real. I also think the problem is they had like Republican primary voters and right-leaning independents in the audience, and that's like, you're rigging the deck in his favor, right? Like, no, have anybody and everybody of all political stripes and affiliations allowed in there. That'd be more fair, right? That'd be more like hearing from everybody. You guys want to create your own little safe space. I'm against that safe space. Okay, so Jon Stewart chimes in, and he says, Dear TV, the problem with the Trump town hall wasn't platforming or a fragile, siloed audience unable to be exposed to newsworthy opinions antithetical to their own. The problem was an event that was clearly negotiated to Trump's approval, an ode to access. We promise, good sir, we are no longer fake news, an enemy of the people. Let us prove it to you. We are fair and good and will do this however you would like. Just come back. I learned nothing from this town hall about Trump and his most ardent supporters. I haven't known since 2016. I learned a lot about CNN. I think he nailed it. I think that's exactly right. The problem isn't you platformed the former president who's currently leading by a mile and a half in the Republican primary as he runs his campaign. That's not the problem. The problem is you just did a shitty job. It's all access journalism. You bent his well. There was a story that just came out. Chris Licht talked to Donald Trump backstage before the event. That's the new CNN CEO. And Trump was like, you're going to get phenomenal ratings because you're having me on. You're going to get phenomenal ratings. And Chris Licht's reaction was like, go out there and have fun, man. And then, by the way, after the fact, after all the backlash, he basically doubled down. Chris Licht basically doubled down and was like, no, this was great. Look, it's okay to do the town hall. You should do a town hall. You should also do one with Marianne Williamson. You should also do one with RFK. You should also do one with Joe Biden. You should do one with, relevant players. Absolutely. But you just got to do a good job doing them. You have to be fair. You have to be objective. You have to be aggressive. You have to try to stick to the facts as much as possible. And they're totally incapable of doing that. They're just lost and, oscillating in the wind, CNN is. Because what they want to do is like, we're going to go back to CNN Classic and be really neutral on absolutely everything. Well, neutrality is not objectivity. And so all you're going to end up doing is boring people to tears with Wolf Blitzer and Caitlin Collins and Anderson Cooper and stuff like that. And then calling it 50-50 between Democrats and Republicans and getting railroaded by aggressive Republicans like Donald Trump. So it was just an embarrassing failure. I think Jon Stewart absolutely nailed it here. So is the town hall ripe for criticism? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But not necessarily in the way that a lot of liberals and leftists and AOC are putting it. Because they are just the living parody and caricature of what the right says the left is. This is, I think, the real, the reasonable left response. It's like, have the town hall, but just do a better job. Don't make it about access. Ask him tough questions. Who would have been best at CNN? I don't think they have anybody who's good enough to really do this kind of questioning, but Jake Tapper would be the least bad, I think, right? But he's still not good. But if it was MSNBC, Mehdi Hassan would be better. So that's the real criticism. I think that's the fair criticism. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You want to.